Welcome back to the room. My guest today is a stand-up comedian and a good buddy of mine, Andy Hamilton. What's up, man?
What's up, Jimmy? Thanks for having me on the
Thanks for being
back
here.
of the room.
I see you had to look there, but that's all right.
Podcast, you know,
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get you as a listener one of these days. What have you been up to, man? How's it going?
Man, everything's going good. I'm just trying to stay busy. Did a couple club weekends here at the Westport Funny Bone and St. Charles Funny Bone last month. Little light this month, but that's okay. I did a show at Pops last weekend. That was interesting. If your listeners know about Pops, it's not really a comedy venue, but we had fun. It was all good. So
What was that like? What was the... It was just a random comedy night somebody put on?
I think so. The guy that booked us, so it was me, Nicholas Kuvar, and Christine Stedman. Very great comics in the scene.
It's a good lineup.
And, so it was cool. I think it's just one of those things that Nick had told me they did comedy before. It went well, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I'll just say we had a light audience, but they were a fun audience, so that's all that matters. But I think it's one of those things, in hindsight, you think of Pops, like no one gets to Pops till like midnight, you know?
Yeah.
And we were doing a show at 8 p.m. It was a ticketed show.
That's
so
early.
Kind of, maybe if we would have started the show at 10, we would have had more people, but and I'm not complaining. It was fun, but
Is it still open 24 hours a day?
basically, yeah, because they close at like 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
But I think we did the show at 8. It was like 8 to 9:30. But I think on an average night, they don't open till like 10 p.m. or something like that. So,
Or nobody's there, probably. Like it's
yeah. And
East St. Louis, like surrounded by strip clubs. Little sketchy.
yeah.
But I've been there. I saw Limp Bizkit there like 15 years ago.
Oh, damn.
And was awesome, actually, but it was a little sketchy.
Did you go see Limp Bizkit this summer?
No, I wanted to, but
Okay.
didn't make it.
Dang. I heard that was a good concert. But so that was my last show. That was not okay. I guess that was like 10 days ago, something like that.
Right
but
on.
like I said, we had a good time, and I don't know. At this point, me and you, we've done plenty of shows for like
Yeah.
8 people, 20 people.
Not bragging, you know. It happens.
But
yeah. It's
like you got to make the most of those.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, not a lot of people have done comedy at Pops, you know.
No.
That's you can put that on just on the back burner.
Yeah.
But I got the first beer I ordered at the Limp Bizkit concert. I was like, they were selling tall cans. I was like, can I just have the can? And they're like, no, we don't do that anymore. We got to pour it into these cups because people were getting stabbed with the cans. So people were just ripping up
What?
the cans and stabbing people because they got too amped or whatever. But
Yeah, prior to last week, I think it'd probably been a decade since I've been to Pops. Let's see, that's probably about right. I'm 37 now, probably when I was 26, 27. So, I mean, it looked the same. The stage, the sound and everything is really good. You know, that guy who runs it, like obviously they have a lot of bands. So when it comes to performing aspects, they have it down. You just need to,
yeah,
you know,
it's a cool venue. It's
just need
just
to
kind of
promote it.
sketchy. It's
Yeah,
just
just need
like
to
in a
promote it
sketchy
better.
area. But yeah, I also saw a picture from the crowd at St. Charles where you were getting flipped off. It was like it almost looked like somebody took a selfie of their middle finger and you in the background.
So I didn't caption it, but that was just Ron Matthews
Okay.
doing that, and that wasn't even during the show. I was trying to take a selfie, and then this lady's like, "You want me to take a picture of you on stage?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, for my social media," being stupid. And then me and Ron were just playing around, and she, you know, got the snap at the right moment, and I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, that's actually a really cool pic." And Dale Jones like, "Dude, you should make that your profile picture." So yeah, I I figured it'd be better to not tell anyone the backstory. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually Ron's finger.
You're gonna have to come up with the lie now of like, I roasted this guy so hard that was heckling that he
Yeah.
flipped me off
And
or
then,
something.
man, he gave me the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, I got some good pictures. I don't know. It's always hard to get pictures of yourself on stage unless you have like a really good camera.
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm not a huge social media guy, but occasionally I'll be like, "Hey, get a picture of me on stage and let me act like I'm let me act like I'm telling a
Let me
funny
act like
joke."
I'm killing right now.
Yeah, but but I think I've gotten lucky. Like people have just had like professional, cameras and like, hey, I got these pictures of you on stage, and you look at them, you're like, dang, that was awesome. And
Yeah.
it's just like kind of like in comedy, you have open micers and people that are just up and coming. Like I found out it's the same for like photography and stuff. Like people go out with their cameras and they just take pictures at shows and like concerts and stuff like that, and just to put it online and get a following, and
Yeah.
hopefully they start getting work from there. And so I just try to plug those people. Like, man,
Yeah.
thanks for the free pictures.
Yeah,
like, these
that's
were
awesome.
with your, Canon photographs or whatever. But,
Yeah.
So I don't know. So yeah, that's the backstory on that. That was that was last weekend of July, so not too far back.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Well, I know. I didn't know you in high school, but you went to Troy,
Went to Troy, yeah,
also in Lincoln County.
Lincoln County.
I was
Yeah.
from Foley, went to Winfield, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Troy was kind of the snobs of Lincoln County.
I wouldn't go with that. No, I didn't know any snobs. We had a lot of rednecks, but snobs, I don't know. We had a Denny's, all right. We had a
Yeah, Walmart. That's how everybody's like. We got a Walmart and fast food. We're from Troy.
when you get the Walmart Supercenter, your sense of self-worth may get elevated compared to Foley and Silex. So yeah, we had it going on. Funny thing is, when I was a kid, so I was born in Troy, so like the early 90s, there was nothing in Troy. And then, I don't know, from what I can remember, I'm like in grade school and they started building shit basically. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, now we got a Denny's and a Taco Bell and new Walmart, man.
Walmart was big. Yeah, we would go there. We went to Pizza Hut a lot.
Oh yeah.
Ventured out to Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that Pizza Hut's been, I bet that Pizza Hut's been there for like 30 years.
That's probably one of the first restaurants,
Yeah.
if I was guessing.
One of
That's one of the first ones I remember.
One of my earliest memories is just we'd go to Pizza Hut. My parents would take us to Pizza Hut like maybe not weekly, but I'd say like every other week. Because, you read the books and you get the what do they call it? The book club.
Oh, yeah,
And you
yeah.
go
You
to
get the
Pizza
little
Hut. Yeah.
personal pizza.
Forgot what they
yeah.
called that, but somebody has a joke about that. Maybe that was Rob. But anyways, yeah, we had it going on in Troy. What is the
Classic Troy. Troy guy.
what is the population of Foley these days?
160.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was just there this weekend. Went fishing, hung out with the parents. It was a good time. But, yeah, not a lot of people in Foley.
Dang,
We
yeah.
had 3 towns come together for our high school, unlike Troy, who's got
Oh.
well, I guess you had Moscow Mills too, but
Wait, what was the 3 towns?
Old Monroe, Winfield, and Foley.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we ran track at Winfield a couple times, and it was like, yeah. I mean, I know it's a small school, so I'm not hating, but y'all had like the gravel track.
Classic Troy guy. We got a nice track. We got a good basketball team. We always got our ass kicked by you guys. We played you in like a summer league or something, but what are you going to do?
Well, that's because we were like 5A, and then you guys were like 2A or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think 2, maybe 3. I can't
Yeah.
remember how the A's work, but we were small.
Yeah,
But-
eventually they bumped us. Probably my senior year, we got bumped to 6A, which I think is the highest level. But we're competing against these really athletic schools like Hazelwood East
Mhm.
and McClure North, and just I'm just gonna say they're all really fast athletes in track and field and football. So we got stomped in a lot of the sports. Yeah.
That's the way to say it. For sure. Yeah, we played a few teams like Career Academy and a few teams in the city, and we played pretty good against them. For a small team, but we usually lost. One game I should have shot a game winner, Like the ball came into me, it was like 5 seconds left. I took a dribble and I didn't shoot, and I passed it to our best player, and he didn't have a good look, and we fucking lost.
Man,
Damn it!
You
should
should
have shot.
You probably should have shot up a prayer.
I wasn't wide open, but I was like, would have had a better shot if I rolled a little. Should have done it. I regret it still this day.
I remember in middle school, I was a wide receiver, and to this day, I still think about. I had some really good hands, but I think I just got nervous, and they were like, "All right, man, this guy's playing cover one. If we just run this 9 route, which was a fade, they call it, and you should be open." And I had a couple steps on him, and I was trying to catch the ball, and it just went right through my hands. I was like, man, I would have had a touchdown. Would have been my glory in 8th grade, man. I would have been king of 8th grade.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, you still hold on to that stuff. You're like, damn it, why didn't I
Yeah.
do this, or why didn't I do that, or can't believe we
well.
lost to this team.
Yeah.
Gotta let it go, I guess, Andy.
Yeah, I guess it's been 25 years. I should probably let that go.
Yeah. Speaking of athletics, I know, you try to stay in shape and work out and stuff. I just wanted to run you through the garbage I've been eating the last 2 days
Okay.
and see if you could give me any tips on how to get healthier and less fat.
Well, I might be able to match your garbage. The
I
past
highly
couple
doubt it. We'll go day by day. I'll go
Okay.
mine and then we'll go yours. Yesterday, started off with 2 donuts and a Mountain Dew Kickstart for breakfast.
Kickstarts are good.
Pretty good. I go orange.
Okay.
And then I had 2 slices of Casey's Pizza, Andy's cheddar fries, and a Diet Mountain Dew. Then for dinner, Molly brought some pizza home. I had 4 slices of pizza and 2 little tangerines and a Diet Pepsi.
Okay.
So
Well,
6 slices of pizza total, 2 donuts.
I mean, let's think positive. The tangerines are good.
That canceled out, at least
Dang.
2 slices, I think.
I can't match that. What did I have? Oh, I had Dairy Queen today. And then what did I eat the other day? Oh, I went to this place called Rookies and had a big old cheeseburger. Yeah, that was a lot worse list than I was expecting, man.
I'm really off the rails right now, and I did it
Wait,
again
what do you
today.
eat? So what do you eat for breakfast? Donuts?
I usually don't eat breakfast, but yesterday
Okay.
I kind of had I don't know why I did it.
Why don't you eat breakfast? You just not a breakfast?
I've been trying to do a little bit of that intermittent fasting thing where you don't eat you eat from like noon to 5,
Yeah.
and it kind of works if you don't eat like garbage,
Yeah.
but it's just bad. And then today, here's what I had. I had a sausage biscuit from QT, Diet Pepsi. For lunch, chicken parm, 5 pieces of bread, and like 4 Diet Cokes. And then stopped at a gas station, got an ice cream, Twix bar, and a water.
Damn. Okay, at least you had water. So I can't top that.
It's not good. You shouldn't top it. But everybody always just says, oh, it's diet and exercise. But I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't like doing either one of those.
See, I've been eating fruit every day for breakfast. I have fruit and coffee.
Okay.
But I will say, and I work out from time to time, but I mean, I do cancel out my breakfast with like a fatty lunch. Like I went to Dairy Queen today. I love going to McDonald's, so I do McDonald's like not every week, but I bet once every couple weeks I go to McDonald's. I get the triple cheeseburger,
Yeah.
the hot and spicy McChicken, large French fry, and a big old iced tea. So, but see, all that's a value meal. Value
So
menu.
you're probably under $10.
Yeah, it's like $8.
Yeah.
And so, hey man, this economy, you gotta cut corners. But I go to Raising Cane's here and there. That's
Raising
pretty
Cane's is
good.
all right.
What else do I eat? Chick-fil-A. It's pretty good.
Just a tip for everyone and you. Lee's Chicken.
Oh,
They got this new thing. They got wings. You can do like 6, 12, or 15. I went through the other day, and I was like figuring they're going to be those small little wings.
yeah.
So I ordered like 12. And they were fucking huge. So I could have done 6 and had like a whole meal. And it wasn't that expensive, so
Dude, Lee's, that's where I went on Sunday. I went to Lee's Chicken. So,
it's pretty good.
yeah, and it's pretty underrated. A lot of people, like, between Lee's, Popeyes, and Raising Cane's
KFC.
and KFC. But out of those 4, what would your pick be?
Whew. It'd be either Lee's or KFC, probably.
Yeah, I go Lee's, hands down. Lee's
It's
chicken.
pretty good.
Everyone's like, oh, Popeyes, it's so good. They got the sandwich. And even you could throw Chick-fil-A in there, I guess. But, man, Lee's chicken. And the best iced tea, the best chicken strips, mashed potatoes, pretty decent, actually.
Yeah.
So, and it's all, I'm going to say on average, you can get all that for like $11, $12. Not bad. So
Yeah.
I wish we got one in St. Charles, but to be honest, man, the one in St. Peter's is just a little better. I'll drive to St. Peter's to get the Lee's chicken.
Yeah. You never know, man. It's like I'm always driving around for work, and like I got to eat something, but there's nothing ever healthy to eat. So it's like fast food or like gas station
About
food.
Qdoba.
Cute. It's all right, but it's like Chipotle and Qdoba. You go, the portion's small now.
Yeah.
Like it used to be a big fucking burrito. Now it's like you're not even full, and it was like
Yeah.
$14, $15.
Damn. My brother goes to Applebee's a lot.
Does he?
That's probably not good for you.
Probably not. I heard all their shit's frozen, but I don't know.
There's a lot of rumors going around. but I give him shit about it.
Yeah.
Applebee's could be okay. It's just I don't want to pay $15 for mediocre at best wings.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to cut back. I'm editing this podcast. I'm like, God damn, you're fucking fat.
So yeah,
That's
for
not
all your
good.
listeners, if you haven't been to Lee's Chicken, try it out.
We'll try to get a sponsorship by Lee's Chicken. Lee's Chicken.
Lee's Chicken.
It's pretty damn
Chicken.
good. I don't have a good tagline. Lee Mazing. I don't
Lee,
have it.
it's Lee Mazing, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get to some comedy questions. I think we've been doing it probably about the same time-ish,
Yeah,
Round.
so.
around the same time. Did you start doing it here? First open mic, the Funny Bone?
Yeah, so I think my first open mic was here in it's like late 2014. So, so it was weird. Now we have like stlcomedy.com,
Uh-huh.
which we didn't have when I started, and probably not when you started. So I thought when you start doing comedy, there's no like guide, obviously. Like, okay, step 1, like write a joke, and step 2, step 3. So I was like, okay, I want to start comedy, but it's like, where do you start, basically? And I think a lot of people to this day have that question. So I'm like, okay, I know the Funny Bone exists. I'd never been here, but so I was like, I'll just go to the Funny Bone for my first open mic. And coincidentally, my buddy, like probably a month or 2 before my first mic, was like, hey, do you want to go watch an open mic at the Funny Bone? And I was like, that is actually perfect because I've been thinking about doing one.
Yeah.
So we came up here, and you know how an open mic goes. It's like you see a lot of good comics, then you see some shitty ones. You're like, man, I could do better than this guy. So I was like, man, okay. And I should just write like 3 or 4 minutes of stuff, and I'll come up here and just do it. And so it definitely took me like a few months to work up the courage and write stuff. And then I came up here, I did like 3 minutes about a TV show that I used to watch called Extreme Couponing. I still remember that. And,
All right.
I always tell people my first 50 times on stage was probably not good. But I got a few laughs. I remember my first open mic, and like just a couple comics coming up to you and being like, oh yeah, that one line you had was like, you're like, oh cool. Like, so I wrote something funny. Okay. And so I just came back the next week, but to expand on that, when I first started, I thought the only place you could do comedy was the Westport Funny Bone, because we didn't have Helium and we didn't have St. Charles. And I can't remember if Hey Guys was around at that point, but so I would only come up the first few months in comedy. I just came up here, and then somebody was like, hey, they're doing you going to the open mic at Art Bar, which is down in the city. I was like, what's that? I was like, they told me about it. I think it was Quentin, actually. I was like, you could do comedy at a bar? now there's bar shows everywhere, obviously. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I really had to it was really word of mouth back then. Even not that long ago, but yeah, like almost 10 years ago. It was
Yeah,
just like,
I
hey,
think I
there's
was
a
the
mic.
same way.
Yeah. Hey, there's a mic here. I'm like, okay, let me put the address in my phone, and okay, where's Art Bar? And then I'm trying to think where else. Oh, Fitz's in the Loop was going on, which I didn't know about that. And someone's like, yeah, you should come to Fitz's in the Loop on Thursday. I'm like, okay, so there's a open, like they do open mic there, and I'd only been to the Loop like twice in my life at that, like for a concert,
Yeah.
So I didn't even know what Fitz's was. But
I was the same way, and like Crow's Nest, and like starting to branch out a little bit. But it was like, I just came here for probably a month or two, and then like tried to branch out a little bit. But I feel like I was super weird for like when I first started. I was just kind of like a loner and didn't, know anybody, and I was just like, I'm gonna try to do some jokes.
I remember talking to you. I don't remember anything specific, but yeah, I try to say what's up to everybody because you never know, which I think is a good rule. Like, obviously I think everyone in this scene's pretty friendly, but there are comics that just won't give the time of day to the new guy. But my philosophy is like, man, just at least say hi to everybody. You're not going to try to fake being your friend or whatever because I don't know you like that. But it's like, hey, what's up? And if they have a good joke, hey, I like that joke, keep at it. But because you never know that person that starts out and you don't think they're going to do shit in comedy, man, 6 months to a year later, next thing you know, they're on shows. And to put it like this, like people remember that. And I remember when I started out, the people that were not really mean to me, but just like, oh, like, who's this fucking guy? Like, get out of here. But so I think general rule of thumb, like, just respect everybody.
Yeah, just don't be a dick.
Basically.
Yeah.
You ain't got to, like I said, be buddy, but just, hey, what's going on? Joe Johnson, how's it going?
Joe Johnson.
Whoever.
Hell of a
John
guy.
Smith, whoever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like, like our bartender here, Sean, like it's like, go to the bar, whether it's your first time in comedy or your 100th time, like, hey man, how you doing? Get you something to drink and whatever. I wish everybody would do that. And so, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb, man. What's your has your writing process changed? Anything like it was in the beginning, like it is now?
I feel like my writing process is evolving constantly, like I'd say year to year. Because starting out, I used to write everything down, and I think now it's more of like a hybrid for me. Some stuff I do just write out the joke. There is other stuff though that I just kind of think of, and I have it in my head, and I just want to take it on stage. And not, maybe some people call it writing on stage. I wouldn't go that far, but it's like I kind of have the lines in my head.
Just kind of getting it out and seeing what happens.
Basically, yeah. Especially if it's like a 30-second joke. It's like I can remember a 30-second joke. Obviously, if it's a longer bit, it's maybe something I want to write out. So that's kind of my process. And I feel like for better, for worse, like a lot of my stuff now is like I just think of in my head, and I may, kind of like we all do, we may jot down like a few words or a sentence, and just to remember to actually do it and spit it out. And then once I get up on the mic, like, okay, this is what I want to talk about. So that's kind of my process. But
it's not a bad process.
Do you still write everything like word for word, or what do you do?
Not necessarily. I mean, usually I'll try to make a note of something on my phone or computer, and then if I go back to it, I'll write more on it, kind of tidy it up a little, and then usually take it on stage. But in certain situations, I'll kind of be more loose. But it's a lot of my jokes are short, so I'd like to get them at least kind of close, and then I can maybe tweak them a little. But who knows?
And I found like if I keep it a little loose and go up there where I'm not like too structured, something funny a lot of times comes out of that, where I'm just like, oh, I didn't really expect to or intend to say it like this or this wording, but that's how it came out, and this actually works better than what I initially thought or what I initially wrote. So that's my process. But
what do you think about this idea for a movie? I just thought of it.
Okay.
Comedian, he's doing okay. then he starts writing with his left hand, and everything he writes with his left hand is amazing, and he becomes the biggest comedian ever.
Do you have a title for this?
Ambidextrous. No, I don't have a title.
Ambidextrous amateur.
Yeah.
We can edit this
Left
part out, right?
My left hand.
That could be a lot of different
Daniel
meanings.
Daniel Day-Lewis can have a cameo. I don't know. It's a bad idea, but I can't even write left-handed, so.
And then he takes
Randy.
mushrooms, and then everything, he becomes a star.
Favorite comedians? Like one or top 5?
Yeah, I could probably do a top 5. I don't know if I
Top
have
3, whatever you
a
got.
favorite. I'll name a bunch, but I'll say favorites / influences on comedy. But Dave Chappelle, obviously big. Bill Burr. For me, like growing up, is like Jay Leno and Rodney Dangerfield. Patrice O'Neal, Greg Giraldo. I think that's 6 right there. Oh, and then like nowadays, like Mark Norman, Sam Morril, Theo Vaughn. So yeah, that's almost 10 right there. But
It's a pretty
it's
good
hard
list.
it's hard for me to narrow it down or put somebody over the other. So, but I think Bill Burr for sure, like top 3. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good list, man. Some of those are on mine too.
Yeah.
You talked about Pops, which was all right. I'm sure it's the middle of the road, but
cool.
Can you remember your worst show ever or best show ever? Preferably, probably worst.
Worst show. Oh, yeah, I can tell you my worst show. It was again, we've had a lot of bad ones and a lot of good ones, but so my worst one, worst couple, worst weekend. This was 2.5 years ago. It was a while back, but I was opening for a guy named TK Kirkland. If anybody knows TK Kirkland, his style and my style are complete opposites. So for your listeners, do you know who TK is or
I've
heard of him?
seen him or I've heard of him. Yeah.
So how I fit into this show, I have no idea. I think he actually, come to find out, he requests cleaner white guys to open for him. And so maybe I don't know if that's true or not, but anyways. So I went up there and my instructions were like, okay, yeah, just do 5 minutes up top and then bring up this guest spot. And then in between the next comic, do another 5 minutes. And then bring up this guy and then do another 5 minutes. And so, which is weird. I mean, we do
That's
5.
terrible format.
Yeah, so I can't, and I'm not trying to, a lot of it was me, some of it was the format, but now I'm trying to think of like these 5-minute chunks that flow together.
You were probably planning on doing 10 up top, and
Yeah.
then they tell you do 5.
Yeah,
5,
they
5.
told me this on Thursday when I got there, and I mean, I'm not blaming anybody, but this is my instructions. I'm like, okay, and Thursday actually was decent. I was like, okay, maybe because I wasn't even thinking about it. I just went up there and did it. But then like I get to Friday, and then like I said, you're trying to think of these 5-minute chunks that have some type of flow.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be like, all right, yeah, the Cardinals, and what's the deal with applesauce? And, people are like, what the fuck? So anyways, to long story short, I mean, like, I think all 5-minute chunks were just like silence. I was like, so really I was bombing for, you ever bombed like in increments?
Yeah, that's even worse. That's
it's
not
like,
all on you. I mean, if somebody, like, you do 5, the next guy, if he does good or bad,
Yeah.
you got to still follow that like 2 more times. That's terrible.
So I had to bomb 3 times in the span of
30 minutes or something.
Basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh my God, when is this night? And then the second show I had to, bomb 3 more times. So I bombed 6 times in one night, if another way to put it. And then fortunately, so here's the redemption, right? So TK, so that was Friday, and I just remember sitting at the bar, and I'm like, I guess, 7 years into comedy at this point, whatever. And you just have this feeling of like, should I quit right now? Like, is this it? Like, maybe I was like, maybe I'm just not funny. And like all this self-doubt comes in, and I'm just like so dejected. And luckily, I will say, kind of a little backstory. And we were in the main room too, so we were bombing in front of like 200 people, or some of the shows were sold out. I will say this guy named, I'll give him a little credit, Eric Newman. He's out of New York. He was in the garage, and he kind of picked me up a little bit, and made me feel better. And then right after that, he, which I didn't know he was watching. Maybe that made it worse. I was like, oh man, now there's other comics watching this too. And then, so at the end of Friday night, TK's like, hey, I usually just do like an hour and a half by myself or an hour by myself. So I'm going to cut these other guys loose. Tomorrow night, you just open with 10 minutes, and I'm going to do an hour or an hour and 15. I can't remember what he said. And that'll just be the show. So, man, you talk about like a light switch,
Yeah.
going off and on. Like Saturday, I mean, it was night and day. I went from like Friday being like, should I quit comedy, to like Saturday, like people coming up to me after the show, like, dude, you were fucking awesome. Like, even though, you're up there for 10, it ain't a whole lot of time, but, when you're hitting that whole 10 minutes, people are like, dang, like, yeah, you're pretty good, man. And like, let me follow you on Instagram, and where else do you perform? And then we had a Sunday show, and I think the Sunday show went even better than the two on Saturday. So that's so I went from like some of my worst, I would probably put those two up with I have to rank those as maybe my two worst shows ever. It's hard to say. I've had a lot of bad ones.
At least you had like Saturday and Sunday to like get the taste out of your mouth of like six, and then a couple of good ones after that.
But definitely a redemption story, because I didn't, and it doesn't always work like that, as you know, because sometimes you bomb on like a Saturday, and then you might not get booked for 2 or 3 more weeks, and you got to wait to kind of get have a hot set again. I never thought of it like that before until we just talked about it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? In hindsight,
you're going from like,
I did bomb 6 times in one night.
Well, it could have been
technically 2, I guess, but
it could have been 12. So it's not like it could have been worse. But Andy Hamilton, everybody, the comeback kid. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Back of the Room.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Nice.
Are you hungry and extremely poor? Then try Phony Baloney. It's cheap. You don't care what goes into real baloney, so why would you care what goes into fake baloney? At their unethical kill shelters, they put the worst cuts of meat into a grinder and pass the savings on to you. This room temperature mystery meat will have you saying, "Oh my god, what the hell was that?" But it's pretty cheap, so maybe give it a try. Phony Baloney. It's cheap.
All right, we're back. Sitting here with Andy Hamilton, talking about comedy stuff. One more question for you before we get on to a segment. Any comedy advice that you've got that you held on to?
Oh, man, I'm not really good with words of wisdom. I'll just say the one advice I'd give people, if you want to start comedy or if you already started comedy, I would just say keep at it and don't quit, because, I mean, it's easy to get frustrated and quit, and, especially if you're not getting booked those first couple years and making progress. But I always kind of thought of myself as like a late bloomer, and I'm still learning and still getting better, obviously. So yeah, if you really want to do it, just don't quit, and things can happen pretty quickly if you stick with it.
Yeah, Michael Costa said that one time to me.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Like, I was at a late show. There was like 15, 20 people there maybe, and he like wasn't having fun, and this lady was heckling him and fucking stormed off, and
oh, damn.
He was talking shit to her, and then he said that after. I was like, oh damn. And then like, I don't know, 6 months later he was on the Daily Show. I was like,
oh damn.
Like, he was funny before, like, obviously a long time before that, but like then he was on. I was just like, that was weird timing.
Yeah,
I got to see him like 4 or 5 months after that happened.
I heard Patty tell a story. I don't want to tell stories like secondhand, but she said she saw Seinfeld up here at the Funny Bone, I guess late 80s or something, and he was bombing, and I think right before his show came out, or around that time, and she asked him if he had like a day job or something.
Yeah.
She's like, "You
I've
have a
heard
day
that story
job?"
too.
So she could probably write a book, but
Yeah, I wish I could get her on here sometime, but I don't think she'd do it.
oh, why not?
I don't know. I could ask Patty. She's not watching
Patty.
either. She's not gonna watch. but
Patty,
we got to
the
get
Back of
Patty
the
on
Room
here.
podcast.
Yeah. We'll do a couple segments. First one, I know you're pretty good, but this one just kind of a rapid fire. You know, getting to know you a little bit better, letting the people know you a little better. It's called That's My Favorite. So just throw something out there and let me know what your favorite is.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. Got a blue walls, blue sign. So you're in good company. Favorite sport?
Football.
Okay.
Fantasy football.
Fantasy football.
No, just NFL.
Favorite band?
Oh. Wow, that's a good one. I'm trying to think what all's on my Spotify that there's a lot of. Honestly, it might be the Rolling Stones. Oh, Van Halen probably. Yeah.
Okay.
But Van Halen 1. Rolling Stones is probably 3, 4.
Van Hagar a fan or no?
I like Van Hagar. Yes.
Okay.
I do like David Roth for sure. I like it all. So, but I would maybe give a slight preference to Mr. Hagar.
A preference to Hagar.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite, but
Yeah, I think most people are. I like Sammy though.
okay. Favorite appetizer?
Oh, wings.
Yeah, that's a good one. Favorite sitcom?
Seinfeld.
Yep, that's correct. Favorite SNL cast member?
Ooh, Dana Carvey.
That's a good one. You don't hear that one a lot, but that's a good
Master
one.
of impressions.
Yeah, he's probably like if you think about it all time, he's got to be top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite Keanu Reeves movie?
Point Break.
Oh,
You like that
deep
one?
cut. I like that one.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's surprising. I'll be like, and now they made. I haven't seen the new one that came out. I guess a year or two ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Maybe I will, but I feel like Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, and
I liked it.
yeah, it was a pretty good flick. So
That was a good one.
I guess most people probably say The Matrix or something. I don't know.
That's probably mine.
Oh, John Wick, is that one?
Yeah, those are the top 2 usually,
Yeah.
but you never know. That's a good one. Deep cut. Favorite podcast?
The Back of the Room, of course.
There he is.
Hands down.
Good man. All right. Well, that's all I got for you. That's my favorite. Gonna move on to another segment. Double segment. It's called Die on This Hill. So, just gonna go over something. Might not be a popular opinion. Might be a popular opinion. You never know. Something that you're passionate about. That you're willing to die on a hill for.
Okay.
So I get started off if you want, and then we can go to you.
Okay, you started off.
All right. The hill I'm dying on is showering at night opposed to showering in the morning. I know that people usually pick one or the other, but I think not showering at night is kind of gross.
I agree with that because I always shower at night mostly because I work at a shop, automotive shop.
Yeah.
To get all this grease and dirt on me. So
I'm
I'm not gonna
always,
shower and then go get all dirty. So I always shower at like when I get off work at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you don't want to shower and then hop in. I mean, you don't want to not shower and then
Yeah.
hop into bed and you got dirt and shit all over your sheets and sweat everywhere. It's just gross.
I like that.
But a lot of people don't do that. They shower in the morning and then they go. And I don't mind to shower in the morning, but I'll take it. I'll double shower sometimes.
Double shower's good. Yeah, sometimes people will like look at you sideways like, you didn't shower yet today? I'm like, man, I've been working all day.
Sometimes if you don't do like hardly anything, I'll skip a shower. But I usually do at least one a day.
Oh yeah, one a day.
That's gotta be. I gotta really not do shit to not shower. I think, but that's the hill I'm dying on. There's gonna be a lot of morning shower people that don't agree, but I don't care. Dying on the hill. What do you got?
Downhill. I'm gonna say one of the worst bands of all time, Pearl Jam.
Really?
I will die on this hill. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's like the greatest band ever!" And did you see them in concert? Like, I don't get it. It must be, music's one of those things that has to, like, maybe it's like kind of like comedy. It's like it's
got to speak to you. You got to relate. And I just don't relate to it. That the voice, like, that one. So if I can't understand the lyrics, I'm probably not gonna jam to it.
Well, we could put the YouTube on, put subtitles on Jeremy or something, and see if you like it.
I mean,
you could read it.
Yeah,
out.
wait, what's the guy's name?
Well, Jeremy is their song, but
okay,
Eddie Vedder is
Eddie Vedder was who I was thinking of. So I'm sure he's a fine.
Do you like the music and just not the voice, or because it's kind of that
I think
Seattle
it's both.
grunge?
Yeah,
singing.
because even the music's like, and like this is starting out way too. I like songs that just get into it.
Okay.
Like Van Halen, Eruption, perfect example.
That they get into it for sure on that one.
So yeah, even like Motley Crue and stuff. I'm like I want to go hard.
Okay.
That's why I like. So rap obviously is hard to understand too, but I feel like I can understand rap lyrics more than the Pearl Jam lyrics. So I don't like the music. I don't like the flow. I don't like the lyrics. I don't like any of it. I'm sure they're fine gentlemen. But all that grunge, post-grunge stuff, I'm just out on, man.
You mentioned Motley Crue. I don't like them.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Just too
because like he's kind of
too girly.
Yeah, too girly.
Wearing the girly clothes and
but they
whatever.
rock out. Yeah.
I mean, they got a couple good songs, but like.
But all the bands in the '80s dressed like women, so it's called hair bands. You know?
Not Metallica.
Not Metallica. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know. I mean, you gotta like what you like. You know, what are you gonna do? But
yeah, Vince Neil. I was drawing a blank on his name.
Yeah. Have
Vince
you heard them now though? They're fucking terrible.
Yeah, Vince can't sing anymore. He hasn't been able to sing in like 20 years, and he did get fat. I don't know. He might have lost weight, but
he's probably still fat. But speaking of not being understanding, that fucking guy. Have you seen the YouTube video where it's like he's can't sing and they're doing like fake subtitles? He's like, it's pretty bad. Or I don't know whatever he says.
I've heard nowadays they are just god awful in concert. Like, which sucks.
The guitar player quit, right?
Mick Mars. Yeah. I don't know the whole story on that. I think they say he quit. He says they kicked him out. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Not for me.
Maybe our listeners can listen.
Good band, but yeah. So I'm just out on certain bands like that.
Okay. Anything else you got?
I think that's it.
All right, that's fine with me. We got a couple of hills to die on.
Oh, you want to talk basketball?
We can talk basketball.
Oh, I'm gonna say MJ over LeBron any day. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, which I think just growing up in the 90s, I mean, I saw it all firsthand, and I was like, there was nothing like it, man. So,
yeah, I don't hate on LeBron either. Like, I think he's probably number 2. But everybody's like, which one's the greatest of all time? I think it's got to be Jordan. He got more rings.
Yeah.
He's just a better shooter, better almost. I mean, you could argue LeBron's maybe a better passer or like facilitator, but.
Yeah, I feel like that debate's been exhausted a little, so I was hesitant to bring it up because every time you turn on ESPN, someone's talking about it. But for me, when people bring it up, I'm just like, dude, I watched MJ for a solid 6 years there, my childhood, right when he came back.
And with just the rings thing, too, like you watch like The Last Dance, like if Pippen wasn't sick or hurt in that one game, to go to the finals, they would have got one there. And then if Jordan didn't play baseball, probably would have got another one.
Yeah.
And then if he would have kept playing and they didn't fuck him over with all the Jerry Krause bullshit, he could have got maybe, who knows?
Dude,
if he played until he was 40, like he came back at 38 or 40 or whatever and was still good, but if he just played that whole time.
See, that's a good point. Like if you think about it, in 10 years, like in the 90s, he could have had 8 or 9 rings. Like that would have been... nobody does that.
No. If they would have kept that team together, they would have just kept winning because nobody was touching them in like 98, 99.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know.
That's crazy.
The Last Dance was great, but it was really frustrating. I was just like, fuck this little short dickhead, Jerry Krause. Fuck you, Jerry Krause. I don't know if is he still alive?
He passed away.
Well,
so
the opposite of R.I.P. to Jerry Krause.
But
yeah, Jordan's the GOAT. I agree.
Yeah, and I I don't know. I may have to put Kobe above LeBron. Ain't no disrespect, but that's just, that's
I
how
like
feel.
Kobe too, but I'd go maybe him 3, but I'd probably go LeBron too.
So that's my other hot take, if you will. But again, kind of an exhausted debate that people will argue for years to come. So
It's all good, man. How many more years do you think LeBron's got?
I think he's just got one more. He's 40 years old now, so I don't know when his birthday is, but
Well, he might be 39 going on 40.
are you sure? Okay.
He's either 39 or 40. I'm not exactly
I thought
sure.
he was already 40. You could see the gray beard and the
Yeah, he's
Olympics.
got
He played good in the Olympics.
Yeah,
so.
he's got his son now playing and maybe playing, but that was
hard-
his goal, I guess.
It's
so.
hard to say because when you're 40, it's like with basketball, it's like, man, I feel like this is going to be his last year. But
He's still playing great. Like just being able to like be head level with the rim still at 40
yeah.
and dunking like that. I'm like, damn.
I mean, if he's
You
still
never see that.
if he's still scoring 25 or 30 a game and they want to pay him $50 million, then play a couple more. I mean,
Yeah. Who knows? But
But-
yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that segment was called Die on This Hill. What do you got coming up, man? Give them your social media stuff, all that kind of
Well, you can
stuff.
follow me on Instagram at Andy Hamilton Comedy. Pretty straight to the point. I got some shows coming up at Helium Comedy Club. Going to be featuring for my buddy Sydney Smith, October 4th and 5th. That's Friday, October 4th, Saturday, October 5th at Helium Comedy Club. And then I'm sure I'll have some stuff popping up, some things in the works. So stay tuned to my Instagram, and I'll have all the upcoming, post all the upcoming events. So.
Cool, man. Well, check out Andy, everybody. Thanks for doing the podcast. Appreciate it. We're going to wrap things up. Maybe throw some Pearl Jam with some subtitles on, and we'll see
good Lord.
see if I can turn you around. But,
All right, thanks for having me, man.
thanks for being here.
All right,
Thanks for watching Back of the Room, everybody.
peace out.